Clean break, y'all boys. Clean break. Break it up. For this video here, I'm gonna be telling y'all what y'all supposed to do when people yell clean break. When you find yourself getting in a head-up, one-on-one fight inside a prison. Let's do it. Haha, Dom the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitches with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K-Frog TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. If this your first time tuning in over here on K-Frog TV, my name's Frog, and almost everything I talk about has to do with prison or jail. And sometimes even the juvenile detention center or the juvenile programs, JIF, JAC, whatever you want to call it. So, if you're into that type of thing, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button. If not, it's alright. We'll catch you next time. You feel me? But anyways, for this video here, I'm going to be talking about when you find yourself in a one-on-one fight inside a prison, you and another inmate are squabbling, getting into it over something, and the dorm yells clean break. I will let you know off rip, I've been in multiple situations, multiple fights while I was locked up. I'm not the hardest bumping person in the world, but one thing about it, you're going to have to show me. And then if you show me, it don't mean you could try me or talk to me any other type of way, because you're going to have to show me again. And then you're going to have to show me again, and again, and again, because I'm one of them white boys that don't really, feel nothing. You feel me? Until later on. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, when you decide to get yourself in a one-on-one fight with another inmate, the dorm is going to do all they can to keep y'all out of trouble, to try to make it to where it's a fair fight, for the most part. They're going to try to make it to where there's not that much grappling and locking up, you know what I'm saying? They want to see you throw hands, chuck them bitches, So when you find yourself getting into a situation and you see that you're going to get in a one-on-one, you're going to notice that everybody who had nothing to do with it is going to find themselves close to the situation. They're going to find themselves, closing in on y'all. So it's kind of like you're in a little ring, but it's people, it's not no cage. There isn't no ropes. It's just you're in the middle of the circle of all the inmates that are cheering y'all on, knock his ass out, whoop that boy, you know what I'm saying? And then when you find yourself, throwing them, and y'all are going back and forth, catching each other, whatever it is, when y'all lock up, they'll let it slide for a little bit. But then if it's locking up too long, everyone's gonna yell, clean break, because nobody wants the police in the dorm. Nobody wants the guards to come in there and people get caught fighting, because y'all are going to go to confinement, and it don't just end there. Depending on what guard it is that's in the officer station, when they do come in there and they decide to, catch y'all boys fighting or whatever it is, they might holler a shakedown. They might decide to flip the dorm, find people shit. Cell phones, knives, contraband, K2, cigarettes, all that. And it's all over y'all fighting. So of course, if you got pressure on your chest and you want to head up with somebody, or if it just happens to pop off, the dorm is going to do the best they can to keep it out of the guard's face. Off the radar, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can get it off your chest without getting caught. Now, when you do find yourself, throwing them like I was saying, and then y'all do wrap it up or whatever, like say he grabbed you, now you're just, you're in defense mode now. You're trying to make it to where he don't boom you, get on top of you, start ground and pounding you and shit. You're trying to defend your wrestle moves, So when you do that and they holler clean break, y'all are literally supposed to stop fighting. Y'all are supposed to literally let each other go, separate, throw hands again. That's how it's supposed to go. So you'll see, clean break, and then you go like this, and if bro decides to hit you, and keep going, depending on how it is in that dorm, depends on how it goes after that, all right? I'm gonna let y'all know what happened to me when I was younger and I was locked up in the juvenile detention center. I ended up getting in a fight over there over a snack. When you're a youth, they gotta give you breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. I got in a fight over snack, and I still remember like it was yesterday which snack it was. It was actually a bologna sandwich. Late night, they used to give us a little cup of this red juice, and they gave it like a little, like a white wrapper that you'd find a cookie in, like a cookie wrapper, like it's just wide open that a cookie could slide in, and it had just 2 pieces of bread with bologna in it. I got in a fight over snack. Dude was talking crazy, like he ain't trying to take my food or anything like that, but I felt like he sized me by saying, oh white boy, you don't want that. You feel me? I took offense to it, so we ended up getting in a fight. Now, I told him I want that when we get back to the dorm. You know, that's what I told him. So when we got back to the dorm, we ended up getting in a fight. And I want to say it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It was like the corner cell near the bathroom. But it had like 6, 7 beds in there or something. I want to say it was probably 4 beds. But we ended up fighting in there. Now, the other youths start yelling, clean break, clean break. Me, I don't know what that means yet. You get what I'm saying? So all I know is me and him are locked up wrestling. And we're rolling around on this one empty bed, which was just, you know, a concrete slab. We're rolling around. When they're yelling, clean break, bruh kind of let me go. When he let me go, that made it to where, oh, I got him now. Like he gave up is how I felt. So I grabbed him, had his ass, and I just started hitting him. Boom, 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 boom. Like I had him, but I didn't catch on that what clean break had meant. So as I'm hitting him, all of a sudden I feel people punch me in the back of the head. So now I'm getting jumped. So now I get off him, and as I'm trying to defend myself against who's punching me in the back of the head, I'll never forget. I felt it like this, and then when I tried to get off him to fight these people, someone from this side stole me. Boom, and I seen like a little flab. Whoa. And then I just started fighting them boys. Next thing you know, I got like 3 or 4 of them on me. And it took me a long time to get over the fact that I got jumped, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't cool with that shit at all, you know? I was still talking shit, still fighting. Even after that, telling them y'all boys don't want to see me one-on-one. Y'all want to jump the only white boy in here. It's all good. It is what it is, you feel me? But as I got older, ended up catching more time and going to the detention center again, you know, kind of learning the ins and outs of how it is when you're locked up. I got to learn clean break means break it up. You get what I'm saying? So I learned if you continue to throw blows when the other dude puts his hands out, it looks like you're trying to get off. You don't know how to, you know, restrain yourself. You get what I'm saying? It's like you see an opportunity to come out, you know, with the victory. You feel me? And that's what I did, you know, and I didn't really notice it at first because I didn't know what clean break meant. I just thought bro gave in all of his strength he had of us wrestling. I felt like he just stopped. So I'm like, oh, got him. You know, it made me feel like I was more powerful than him. You see what I'm saying? And ended up getting jumped over that shit. You feel me? But as I got older, I kind of learned it. And sometimes it sucks because when I got older and I found myself, you know, in the detention center a couple more times, I found myself in the juvenile program, getting in bunch of fades in the juvenile program. When I was in there, clean break, it made it to where I learned, oh, I ain't trying to get jumped. You see what I'm saying? And there's been times that, you know, I put my hands out like this, so it's like he's got me now, and I clean break, you know, I put my hands out, letting them know, you feel me, that everyone's hollering clean break, so, you know, I put my hands out, but it's kind of like every time I did that, the dude I was fighting at least got an extra lick or two in, though, so it's like they ain't jumped them all the time, you know, there's been times where it happened where they did jump on the dude who stole me after I was like, put my hands out for clean break, but you got to just grit your teeth and get ready to bob and weave, because when they holler clean break, it's like whoever lets go first, you're vulnerable now to get punched in your shit. You feel me? So it's like after a while, me getting stole 1 or 2 more times, and then when we go to grabbing again, because it's like you got me like this, you know, and then now all of a sudden I'm wide open, you know, and you steal me, boom, boom, boom. Oh shit! All I can do now is my defense is to try to get a hold of you again. You get what I'm saying? And then after, you know, getting hit so many times, clean breaking the proper way made me learn how to, you know, grip my teeth, prepare for a hit, bob and weave. You know, I kind of try to bob and weave more than usual because I would always get hit with that lucky ass little hit or two they would throw. You feel me? And I remember saying to myself, like, damn, this is crazy. First time I ain't clean break, I got jumped. You know what I'm saying? And I'd say probably out of like 10 situations where they call clean break and I'm like this, I got swung on about 8 times after that. You know, like 8 different situations, and I feel like once or twice the dorm jumped them. But the other 6 times I had to eat that shit. Now I will say, when I ate it, it powered me up. You know, it made me more hot to where when they separated us and said, y'all boys get it in, and for us to grit again, I was hot that he got them extra licks on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I looked at it like that was a bitch move, a coward move. You know what I'm saying? Now that I knew what clean break meant. You see what I'm saying? And I was just as angry as the jits that jumped me when I was in the detention center when I was younger. You feel me? But it gave me that thrive, you know, to get in there and make sure I get my 2-piece back. You know, like, and it made it to where like I'm trying to rip his head off now. You feel me? All because he got them lucky ass hits in on me. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all about that. If you find yourself locked up and you hear them boys yelling clean break, It's up to you. You either, you know, of course, it's kind of hard. Nobody wants to clean break, you know, at first. It isn't like everyone's just standing there saying, clean break, clean break. You know, everyone runs up, you know, and tries to break it up as they're yelling clean break also. So it's kind of like y'all are locked up like this, hitting each other and shit. And then they yell clean break, clean break. Now they're separating y'all. So now you're going to let him go because everyone's coming in the middle. So when you let him go, you just got to be ready, boy, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to try to get that extra hit in. You see what I'm saying? And I seen a couple fights from the outside looking in. Them boys was bumping. And I seen that extra hit or so split people's shit open. You see what I'm saying? And then they don't want to fight another round because they leak it. But all because dude ain't clean break. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, it's a 50-50. It's either yes, you know, you're going to wait till he lets go. Then you let go. You know, people going to try to separate y'all. And it looks like y'all are just trying to have a wrestling match. Or you let go first, which means, man, come on, man, let's just lock this, you know, let's just break this shit up, lock this shit down, and get back to, you know, trucking them bitches. That's basically what it is. Like, I'm tired of wrestling with you. You feel me? And then they break it up. You feel me? But you got to remember to dodge and weave that shit, grit your teeth, be prepared, or, you know what I'm saying, get hit in your shit. It's all on you what you want to do. But do not be one of the people that do not follow with the clean break. You know, your ass don't listen to the clean break and they gonna jump you. You know what I'm saying? Might slide depending on how many people are cool with you in the dorm. But even the people that are cool with you in the dorm will not respect the fact that you didn't respect the clean break. You see what I'm saying? Nobody wants to sit there and watch 2 grown-ass dudes argue and bicker over a bologna sandwich or over a ramen noodle or over a tuna pack, a pickle. Nobody wants to see this shit and then y'all boys wrestle the entire fight. No, everybody wants to break that shit up, clean break, and see y'all boys go at it and chuckle. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be prepared because people do want to watch. People do want you to get in a fight. Gives them something to look at. Gets their mind off the time. You just got to make sure you don't fall for the okey doke, you know, and find yourself being in fights all the time for no reason. You know, you got to draw that line, make people respect you, whoop a couple people along the way, you know, lose a couple along the way also, because you learn more from your losses than you do your wins. And then next thing you know, you just keep your head up at all times like a lion, and then you just keep it pushing. But regardless, you got to respect the clean break. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I'm sitting there and I'm in the dorm and I'm watching these dudes fade, right? Going back and forth. Brr, 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 brr. And next thing you know, clean break, clean break. And I don't care about either one of these dudes. I'm not cool with neither one of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? They could even be someone that I'm cool with both of them. It don't matter. But them boys going back and forth, bumping like that, and then clean breaks getting yelled by everyone else trying to break it up. And one dude decides to throw a whole funny one over and catch another, you know, free lick on the dude that had his hands out. Off rip. First thing comes to my mind is that was some bitch shit. That was a bitch move he did. You get what I'm saying? And he deserves to have his hands held behind his back and let bro just punch him in the shit one good time. You know? That's how I look at it, because bro's respecting the clean break. Once they throw their hands up, it's a respect thing. It's like, yo, you know, like, no hard feelings, you know. You don't say it to him, but it's like, no hard feelings. Like, we fighting and all, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm respecting it. I want to throw hands with you. That's basically what it is. Because you see a lot of people who know how to throw hands, but don't know how to wrestle. And then you got people who don't know how to throw hands, you know, but, you know, when it comes to wrestling, they don't know how to wrestle neither. So they just lose all the way around the board. You get what I'm saying? And then you got people that know how to do both. But I've seen a lot of people who knew how to chuck them. That's legs wasn't that, you know, big. Them boys had scrawny legs, big up top, scrawny on the bottom, chicken legs, you feel me? Chicken feet. So what's the other dude gonna do? He's gonna try to take advantage of them by getting a hold of them. Yeah, on the streets you can get away with that shit. In school you can get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But in the chain gang, they ain't letting you get away with that. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's just like a straight, y'all square off and you run up on, pick them up, boom, you get on top of them and just start beating them to sleep. People are still gonna try to break it up, but you kind of like overkilled them by doing that, you know? People are gonna let you get your pressure off, but they're gonna break it up too, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's such an easy win, they don't want you to, you know, go to confinement over someone that you just mopped the floor with, and they definitely don't want you to kill them over something so serious. So people are gonna try to break it up. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times I see people who could win in a fight by chucking them, I see them lose because the other person knows how to wrestle better. You see, the other person knows how to take advantage and get them and take it to the floor, get them on the ground and shit like that. That's the reason why in prison they clean break it up, and they try to make you line it up again. So everybody gets kind of like an even chance. Now, if you're someone who don't know how to throw hands you know, you got the shit end of the stick, because they want you to throw hands more than they do wrestle. So if you're somebody watching this video and you feel like, I don't know how to throw hands, but I know how to wrestle, depending on what the individuals are like inside the prison dorm, and depending on the individuals that are surrounding the fight are, you might not get too far with just that wrestling shit. You know, you got to at least be throwing blows. You see what I'm saying? Now, if y'all are wrestling and both trucking them and then pushing one off the other, and y'all are still like gritting, but there's grappling at the same time, that shit will slide for the most part. But if it's just straight, no hands are being thrown, y'all are locked up, like he's trying to boom you and you're trying to stop him from booming you, and then you're trying to reverse it and boom him and stuff like that, that shit is getting broken up first quarter. You know, I've seen fights go just like this, and then they throw the throw on them, and then next thing you know, as soon as they like, break up, clean break, everybody breaks it up. And then they line it up again like this, they go to throwing them things, as soon as they clean break, break it. Like, they don't even give you the chance to fully wrestle each other. You see what I'm saying? So if you are somebody who don't know how to, you know, throw hands, you might have the shit end of the stick, because people are going to holler clean break. And then if I was fighting someone who didn't know how to throw hands at least better than I could, I'd love when they holler clean break. You get what I'm saying? Because if I'm giving you the business and I could tell you don't know how to fight, you fight with your head down and shit, you're swinging all funny, and I could just tell I'm painting you, I'm doing you in, so you keep grabbing me, and they're like, clean break, I'm going to smile in my head and be like, just like this, like, I'll eat whatever you throw because I'm ready for it. You know, you already don't know how to fight. So now that I'm like this, clean breaking, and I'm ready, you know, for them to separate us, I'm going to eat whatever you throw at me. You get what I'm saying? And I might weave it, because for me being jumped when I was younger, I'm kind of on beat already. You know, I'm on point about it. But I'm going to smirk because I know, okay, boom, now we're throwing hands again. I know I'm going to tear you up again. You see what I'm saying? Just make sure you always remember, if you hear people yelling clean break, break it up. Not just one person now. Don't fall for it, because some people use that tactic too when their homeboys are in the paint, when their homeboys are over there fighting. Their homeboy might be getting torn up a little bit, and it looks like they finna boom his homeboy. He'll yell clean break, and the other dude might let go, thinking that everyone's hollering clean break. Really, that just let his homeboy get about that situation. Boop, 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 boop. You see? So you got to make sure you hang on and you keep going or whatever until they're like clean break, until people are trying to, like, you know, divide y'all, break it up. Don't just do it because you hear one individual yell clean break. Sometimes it'd be someone all the way across the other side of the dorm, sitting on the top bunk, watching the fade from a distance. Don't want nothing to do with the problems, nothing to do with the fight. Make sure the cameras that are now in prison can see him, that he's not even near the scuffle, but he's so nosy to watch, and he might see that ain't nothing going on with the fight that's entertaining. He might yell clean break, and the individual might let go. Other dude get up out that situation, boop, 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 boop. Next thing you know, you're looking at the ceiling. You feel me? You never know how it goes. You feel me? So make sure you'll know when it's a real clean break. You know what I'm saying? Because individuals are going to try to break it. Hey, clean break. They're getting in the middle of y'all. Once that is, then that's when you respect the game. Anything he does to you after you respected the game can be held against his ass. Possibly. But if not, that's why you get your weavers on. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared for this type of shit. That's what I want to come on here and talk to y'all about today. Now, if you're somebody that was locked up and you found yourself in a fight and you know about the clean break situation, drop it in the comment section for other people to read about it, because I know I'm not the only one that has been through these type of situations. It's like a day-to-day thing inside of prison, jail, the county, you know, juvenile programs, you know, detention centers. It's a day-to-day thing. Shit, it might even happen on the streets now. You feel me? It's more like a respect, you know, separation for y'all to line it up again. You think about it. A fight can be over in one round, you know, when it comes to mostly grappling. Y'all go like this, next thing you know, y'all are getting locked up, y'all slam shit, one person's gonna get on top or shit like that, or you're just gonna lay there and be locked up like two fucking snakes, you know? Instead, that same fight that would have ended in that one, you know, grappling situation can be divided into like 4 rounds until y'all boys are good. Go ahead. And after like the 4th time, you be like, you straight, all right, y'all boys good, boom, 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 that's it. Y'all go y'all separate ways. Feel me? But y'all got what you needed off your chest. And then y'all both respect each other for fighting. You see what I'm saying? That's what the whole clean break is. It's like a respect separation. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like when the bell rings in boxing and in UFC. Ding, ding, ding. Y'all know, okay, boom. Part ways, go to y'all's corners, and then boom, go back. You see, that's exactly how it is. But it's different, of course, because in there you got refs, penalties, and disqualifications and shit. It ain't like that on the streets or when you're locked up. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you're somebody, you know, that hasn't been locked up before, or you have been locked up before, what would you do in that situation? What would you do if it came to There's people yelling clean break. Are you gonna put your hands out like this and give bro the opportunity to punch you in your shit one more time? Or are you gonna wait till he lets go? You see what I'm saying? Or are you gonna not break it up and you gonna punch him in the shit one time? Drop it in the comment section, man. Let me know. You feel me? I learned the hard way when I was younger, so I kind of learned to like just prepare myself for whatever they throw at me. You know what I'm saying? And it helped me in the long run. But I wanted to come on here and share that with y'all because I feel like a lot of people don't know about that. And I don't feel like a lot of people would go to prison and know what it means if they've never been in that situation. So I feel like by you listening to this right here, me planting that seed in your head, knock on wood, that you never go to prison, but I feel like me planting the seed and letting you know about clean break, it could kind of possibly help you prepare yourself. If you find yourself in that situation, you will know what it means when everybody starts screaming it, all right? But that's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe honor boys, and clout chasers out your circle. And until next time, this the one and only, I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though. I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though. Cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.